So welcome to this 8th session. The session title is Assessing in the Age of Zoom, Virtual versus In-Person Deafblind Assessment. And the speakers of this session is Pascal Lafrance, and he discovered deafblindness over 12 years ago when his daughter Ariane was born with Charcot syndrome. He and his family moved to Ottawa so their daughter could attend a specialized classroom at the Center Jules Lessier. Already a qualified teacher, Pascal then completed his special courses in deafblindness at the Faculty of Education at University Ottawa. He has worked in in a deafblind classroom for several years before shifting to a consultant position at the Consortium Center Jules Lessier here in Ottawa. And over the years, he has acquired valuable experiences and attended many conferences as a parent and as a professional. And his special focus are the interest in sensory rooms, cortical visual impairment, and the Charcot syndrome. So he grabs over a lot of topics, I think. Then we have the other speaker, Christine Souvier-Guidon, and she is a lifelong learner who has dedicated her teaching career to deafblindness. She has worked in a deafblind classroom, and she is currently an educational consultant at the Consortium Center Jules Lessier. She also developed and teaches in French the Deafblind Additional Qualification 3-part course at the Faculty of Education on Ottawa University. Over the years, she has trained under Jan van Dijk to refine her approach in child-guided strategies and assessments. She has completed the supervision seminar on tactile working memory scale. Being passionate about brain-based sensory losses, she learned everything she could regarding cortical cerebral visual impairment and obtained the Perkins-Roman CVI endorsement. She also has an interest in understanding the link between CVI and central audio processing disorder, APD, as well as between CVI and tactile signing. She has been published twice in the Deafblind International Review and represented at various symposiums and conferences. So I'll give the word to you, and we look forward to listen to this speech.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you. I have to put this down because I'm a short person. My name is Pascal. Just a quick description. I'm a short man with glasses and dark brown hair and a facial hair, I guess, too. Kirsten?
I am even shorter. I'm about 5'2". I've got curly blonde hair, shoulder length. I am dressed in black today.
Kirsten? What about you?
That's me, but she said enough about me, so
All right.
go to the next slide.
That's me, and that's my daughter. You can see her with the toothbrush and a life jacket on. She's brushing her teeth with a life jacket. That's what Ariane does, things like that. All right. Where we work, you see a photo of our school and a photo of the map of Ontario, where Ottawa is. So we're right here in Ottawa. We didn't have to travel too far.
So basically, it's a Consortium Centre Léger. We have many programs inside. It's a provincial program. We service all the francophone schools in the province of Ontario. And we do many types of assessment, the deaf-blind team. But today we're really going to look on this functional description of how we work into the evaluation part, the box at the bottom here, and what types of evaluations we do, and how did we have to do them, and what do we learn through the age of Zoom. right?
Yes. So the region that we service, I guess would be the word, is pretty big. Ontario is huge. It's a huge province. You can see on the left map is the map of Texas inside of the province of Ontario. So it's as big as Texas or even bigger. And on the right side, you can see the province of Ontario inside of Europe, and it's taking quite a bit of Eastern Europe. But to be fair, we don't go all the way up north that much. About half of that upper northern side, we don't see much students, but still, it's huge. Ontario is huge. We do thousands of kilometers to reach our students.
When we do have a student up north, it was like when we were discussing with the person from New Zealand yesterday, we have days worth of traveling to get there and to get back to go service one student.
So what's the goals of this project?
So the goals of this project, we had this worldwide pandemic, and Pascal and our team and I discussed what did we learn from all that? What did we do to survive and to see these kids and service them? And then what could we do in the future? What was worth it? What took too long? What could we use that was really good? So
yeah, so
cost efficiency and all that.
Yeah, what can be done virtually and what is harder to do in virtual?
It should be done in person.
So we've all, I don't know if any one of you guys are teachers. I was a in-class teacher when the pandemic hit, and this is how I felt. You see a man here on his computer, and then he's throwing his computer in the dumpster because he's frustrated. It was a tough time. So how do we do assessments?
Well, what do we want to do when we assess? We want to observe, we want to validate, we want to interact, we take notes, team approach to collaborate and write reports. We need sometimes in some of our reports 2 people to sign off, to validate. So how do we do 2 people during a pandemic or afterwards? Do we change how we do it? We have to agree on the level of functioning. We bounce hypotheses and collaborate on writing reports. And the last one is pretty much the same, sign off on it. And so did that change after the pandemic?
So what did we learn in the pandemic, and can we complete assessments virtually? Is one of the questions that we asked ourselves. Can we do a full assessment in the virtual world, in the Zoom type or the videos? Can we do all of it? Can we do parts of it? And what parts?
So the first case is Vanessa. Vanessa lives there from where I was working, 10 kilometers from my house, and the school was another 10 kilometers away. So, but we couldn't go in the school. But it was a really good case study because I knew everyone in there. How could we get it to work? She was a new student that just came on my caseload just when the pandemic hit. I had seen her only once in person. We wanted to do a CVI assessment. Okay, how do we do that? But the first part, the picture on the top, you see a Zoom, and you see the parents, you see myself, and you see the educational team. So that was easy to do. And we really created a bond very fast. Below, the second picture is Vanessa at school. The school provided me videos, and I could look at them from home. Then, because there's some questions I had, observation B was direct observation using Google Meet. Turned on the laptop, and the TA would point it, and the student would see each other, so there was visual distractions and all that happening, but it was still a pretty efficient tool. Then I could call up the team afterwards and get the answers that I didn't have, because like there was a background noise all of a sudden, what was that? And stuff like that. When I could, I did a direct intervention. I wanted to know for myself, what did I miss? Because the CVI asked for 3 you ask questions, you observe, and then you validate by direct intervention. So the direct intervention I knew that I had missed information and what I'd done virtually. So, and I got answers that I could not get through the two first ones. So that was clear to me. But number 5, the presentation I could present the report to the parents via Zoom. That was easy, and it saved a lot of time for everyone. I think there's a video if you want to see Vanessa. And we were validating that she does put things, she likes putting things into containers. Like the picture on top with the parents, that was one of her favorite toys. It's a piggy bank, and she had coins that she would put in. So, gives you an idea. Then there's, can't say the name, but AY. AY is in Sudbury. Sudbury is about a 6-hour drive northwest. If you want to fly there, you go to Toronto, you change planes, and you go up to Sudbury. The teacher there wanted to have input on how she functions. This was going to be a consultation done virtually. It was very time-consuming for everybody, but we're in a pandemic. We're doing the best we can. So she's a teacher. She's a specialist teacher, Hélène, the teacher there. She videotaped for 2 days different activities happening during the day, uploaded them all, stored them. Day 2 did the same. So I had 2 full days of banking of videos. We did get a good response. I did get a lot of good information. Being that I knew Hélène, I'd been in that classroom before, we had also a follow-up meeting of what I saw and make sure that I had perceived it the right way. And then could help out with suggestions for the next steps with this student. I think there's a short video. She's noticing there's a camera there and pointing to the lady videotaping. And then she's going to do a math activity. She has to count how many spots are on the popsicle sticks or bigger sticks. So this was a strategy we developed after the fact. After seeing this, we used a lot more tactile information. I could give suggestions for total communication approaches. We added sign language. That was not a video that was done during. It was a video done afterwards. You have to get parental permissions. So, and I got permission for that one, not the ones before. So Christian, that was.
I'll give you the minutes for that.
Yeah, Whitefish Lake is far. Anyways, it's further than Sudbury, but we're in full pandemic. This boy is graduating, and we need to find information about his functional vision and fast. So that's him at home. And that's him at home looking at his computer because I needed to know how he was placement and how he saw. I had to coach mom a lot, teach her everything I could, and send, she was a teacher, retired, so send her lesson plans and things, what to observe and how we were going to do the assessment with Zoom. If you're not Canadian, you won't understand this part, but he loves the Toronto Maple Leafs hockey team, and I don't. So I had to create PowerPoints with a hockey team that I really despise. It was not fun, but I did it.
Nobody likes the Leafs.
Just to get the information that I needed. The medicine cabinet is an example of mom sending me pictures after the fact saying, oh my God, he missed, he could not see. So there's a lot of back and forth. But to create that PowerPoint, there's about 24 hours of work, right? And then to send it and to coach mom how we're going to do it and filming it during there and then having to review it afterwards. I wrote a report so the parents could have something, but finally the parents decided to come to Ottawa when we could see hockey games finally. They drove down to me so I could meet Christian and assess him at a mall where somewhere pretty safe, right? Social distancing was possible. And then I realized what I had missed out. So he could not see the lower. These are things I wouldn't have been able to assess with Zoom. So, and then him having a really good spatial memory would point to me to a store that there was no way he could see. Look, it's right there. There's a floor in between. We're on the 3rd level. The store was on the 1st level. There's a whole floor in between. So he was probably fooling people about saying things that he could see that he wasn't.
All right. So we also did in-person assessments during the pandemic, but we were outside of the school, so we were literally looking through windows for this one assessment of a child in Ottawa. In the schoolyard. So we're in the front of the school. I was thinking somebody's going to call the police. So this is a reenactment, but this is what we looked like, just looking through windows and taking notes like a couple creeps. But it worked for the time that it had to be done. Here's a few case studies. So that more of this year, I guess, that we tried.
Because we wanted to know, what did we learn from Zoom, and then what could we do? Because now we had a wait list of kids to go see. We had so many things that we needed to do. We were, at the beginning of the year, we were 3 consultants. Now we're up to 3.5. We got an extra helper, but.
So these are the 4 that we're going to see. Julien, Eliza, Sean, and Arlette. So there's the picture of the 4 of them. We'll explain them later. Start with Eliza. So on the top, you see a map of Ontario, well, partial map of Ontario, to see how far Ottawa and North Bay are. They are 358 kilometers apart. And below there's a picture of Eliza. She's a young girl with a little bun hair, I guess, on top of her head, and with her a little yarn.
Well, the yarn bombing.
The yarn bombing piece that she made. So who is Eliza? We suspect she has CVI. We suspect she has auditory processing disorder also. She has all these known medical things I won't go through. But she loves music. She loves having people around her. She's very a smiling child. And she was my first student outside of my old students that I had in class in my now job of consulting. So I was pretty excited to have her around. She's a very fun child too. So pre-assessment, she was a new student. She was my new student, but she was a new student. Also, she came in during the pandemic. We did some Zoom meetings with the staff and the parents. And then we asked the school team to send us videos. So they sent us a couple of videos here and there. They were short videos. But even though with those short videos, we noticed the CVI characteristics very quickly. So we decided to try to do a CVI assessment, and we started virtually. So the first thing, we did the parent interview. So that was me and Christine and Tanya, who is the mom. And Christine, I let Christine do everything because I knew nothing.
No, but now we're 350 kilometers away, not 10. But I knew from the first experience that we could get stuff done now. So
some elements were clear even from the video clips, and from the interview we got a lot of answers too. And this is a video of her.
She's in a snoozling room?
She's in a snoozling room laying on her stomach, but she's looking up and looking at the lights in front of her. You can see her eyes shifting quite a bit.
Bravo.
And then her head's fall down. Her neck control is not ideal either, but she's working really hard.
So those little clips really helped us at the beginning for sure.
Yeah. So more about the hybrid method, I guess, virtual and in person. So when we were in person, there was more observations that could be done. In general, it was a clearer student profile from here, I had the videos, so I had a better idea of who Eliza was before setting foot in class. So that helped. I had a jump start, so that helped. And after several in-person visits, that was more post-pandemic, I thought we had enough information to start a functional deaf-blind assessment, which would include the CVI observations that we had made beforehand. And we have a new colleague this year to help out. She lives in Sudbury, which is closer to North Bay. And I asked her, hey, can you come down to help me do this assessment? And all right, this is a video of her again. You don't see her much. I don't think this is you see it better. I think you see it better on the laptop. But the general impression for me, and Carole also, I asked Carole about it. She says, and I say, the information that we got from the virtual stuff helped out quite a bit, but it wasn't everything. We needed more, and we needed to, when I set foot in the school, there was more information that I gathered, especially with the auditory part. Because the CVI we saw fairly quickly. The auditory processing, I didn't see until I went in the class, and it was pretty clear. It's like, oh, she's not hearing the same as the other children, and then we had to investigate further, and that was better seeing in person, because in the video you see what's on the screen and you don't see what's around the screen. You don't see where sounds come from and the environmental aspect. So, right, Julien.
So Julien, Ottawa, and he's in Welland, which is right beside Niagara Falls, which is 585 kilometers from our school. Gives you an idea. Julien I've known forever, but he finally got diagnosed with a genetic disorder, finally, during the pandemic, June 2020. I've known this boy for a very, very long time, since 2011. But we still needed to do a functional deafblind assessment. And now that we had finally the diagnosis, I told, because we were going to the Niagara area together, we went, I brought Pascal with me. But I've known, like I said, I've known this kid forever. He loves music. That's in 2012. Going to the radio, putting his ear, but only one ear. Trying to figure out if we could make him learn sign language. Not knowing how he hears, because we had a question mark on that. And he could finally tell me that there's colors matching. That was in 2015. And I have to wait. Okay, in 2018, and when we were trialing an FM system, I brought a colleague, Joelle, who's a teacher of the deaf, consultant of the deaf, helped me out for a FM system. Very musical little boy. He can sing songs, but his speech, it's all, he could repeat songs and not much. Functional speaking. So, Pascal, I brought him along, and what did you observe when you came? Did the videos help of all those years?
Yeah, so before going, I knew Kirsten had tons of videos, so I watched some of them. Didn't watch all of them. But I've seen a lot of them and pictures of Julien, and we had talked about Julien quite a bit, so I knew I had an idea of the profile, so I had some information going in. Part of the picture was there, so I had an idea. But when I was there in person, same thing, some more information for me, some revelations, I guess. And when we went there, Julien was in a new school, and when he saw Christine in the new school, he was not happy about it.
He freaked out.
Yeah. Christine was related to his other school, and then when he saw Christine in his new school, it did not compute, it did not work for him. He was like, why are you in this space now? So he was very, very...
I had to go hide.
Yeah, she had to go hide. And even me, I was immediately associated with Christine, so even me, it was harder to stay close. But I still had I stayed afar, filmed some videos. I had my camera strapped to my chest. So I had like a chest harness for my telephone, and I was walking around. But even that, I would miss information. I think this is a video where I miss information on the video. So even when, I mean, we know what to look for sometimes, but even me, I would miss stuff. I'll play the video and explain. Julien's coming out of his snoozlin room, and he's going for the disinfecting bottle, and he wants to put it in his mouth. But I miss it. It's right on the left. He's doing it right now, but you don't see it. And he's putting the disinfecting on his mouth and then spitting it out in the bathroom. And that's what he just did. That was him. He came out. And he did that just as his interveners, I guess, turned around to talk to some other students. And he saw the opportunity. He wanted to do it all morning. And then he had the opportunity and he did it. But I missed it on the video, but I saw it. So if it was someone else maybe filming, they might have missed it too, as I did. But I saw it because I was like this. I was filming with my chest, I guess, but my head was turned at the right place. So I missed it.
We need a camera there. I'm joking.
You need a camera on the glasses. But I got to talk with him a bit, and he was very much. What I didn't see in the videos was the charge-like features that he had, and I have a charged daughter, so I kind of saw the way that he would act was very similar to what my daughter would do. And then I got a chance to talk with him. This is me following with my chest camera. I have subtitles because I'm talking French. He said, hey, do you want to go listen to music? We were going to music class.
Pascal, Monsieur Pascal. Moi, ça va bien. Toi, c'est Julien. Moi, c'est Pascal. Monsieur Pascal.
Yeah, repeating my name so he can remember.
Julien, ouvrez la porte.
And then we're going to music class. There was music class, and he goes walk around the school every day to go listen to music class because he loves music so much. And the video goes on. That video was like 5 minutes long, and it's pretty much the only interaction I had with him all day. But it was a good interaction. It was a positive interaction. I don't think I could have had that interaction in virtual. So that was fine, and I had direct interaction. I could see how he responds, how he reacts to me, this new person, who's this new man coming into my school. All right, so that was Julien. Did you have anything to add about Julien?
He confirmed things that I kind of, for all the years that we didn't know his identification, what he had, syndrome, I kept telling people, it looks like charge, he's acting like charge, this is charge, but it's not charge. So he validated, I felt okay, but it wasn't. But all the little things he added, sort of, that I know you couldn't see in a video, at least you got to see that day. So it does fill in the blanks that he had, right? So in person, yeah. Even if it was difficult, validated a lot of information.
The charge behavior, and behavior is communication, but this, the way that he behaved was similar to charge. Yeah. All right, this is Arlette. The top image is a map. She lives in Oakville, which is near Toronto. That's 436 kilometers from here. And then there's a picture of Arlette smiling, big smile at her dinner table. Arlette has Williams syndrome. She loves music. She's always searching for social interactions with adults, and she has great memory of things that affect her life positively. She will remember things. She will remember me even if I haven't been in that class for 6 months. She was also a new student during the pandemic. We did also Zoom meetings with the staff. I didn't get to see her in videos, unlike Eliza, until I went there in person. And when I saw her, she seemed to have characteristics of CVI, of APD, but it's never clear-cut. It was very, sometimes yes, sometimes no. So I said,
You took videos though. So.
I did took videos. Yeah. We'll talk about that later, I think. So I took videos. I asked Kristen to help out to do a functional assessment, not because it was like, oh, we have to. I was curious. I'm not even sure still to this day if she's actually deafblind or not in the functional way. I told her this one is a hard one. I need you to come with me. Kristen is the one with experience. I'm the new guy. I did film videos. This is one of them during in-person consultation. Footage was okay. I'm still not the best cameraman, but this is one video. There's subtitles. I can maybe say the subtitles when it plays. So she's in a calmer space with minimal external distractions right now. And I'm playing with a little ball with her. She's interacting, she's laughing. And when the music starts, now the music's starting. She gets up, she says, "It's music." And then I want to continue my activity. What I wanted to do is, let's try to do that same activity, but with music. Her body language shifted. She's not following anymore. She was not following. Before she was following the ball. Now her vision is not. She's not tracking the ball anymore. Even touch won't get her attention. And when the music stops, she turns her head immediately, and she's back like before the music started, laughing and interacting with me.
Et où la musique? Est partie. Est partie.
She said, "La musique est partie." I said, "I close the music," and she says, "Don't stop the music." So, as soon as the music started, she was functioning differently, and the function before and during, I guess, music wasn't the same.
But I saw that video afterwards, and because before going in person, I got to see all those clips, and right away I said, okay, she's a one sensory at a time learner, unisensory. So I knew that distractions from looking and listening at the same time, I had a good idea. I already knew she'd be a tough one to assess, but that's why we went in person in May.
Tu joues le vidéo?
Yeah, play the video. We're trying to match cards together because I wanted to see, and you see the tray is really to focal and to look at one spot because she was everywhere. I could see CVI characteristics. So we're just trying to match two letters together. So the teacher will say, the intervener will say, look, those two are friends, they match. C'est un ami. And as soon as she says that, she hears the word friend, she turns to the door and trying to find the friend. So
she didn't. Well, for her, it's out of context. The word friends means friends, and she heard friends, and where are the friends? Where are they? They should be coming through the door.
So those are the kind of distractions that I wouldn't have been able to feel being there, being with her, and I never would have been able to tell Pascal, well, if she has visual, you see that she's scattered all the time, go get a tray and try it. The spontaneity has to happen when you're there in person. So for training purposes, I think it was better that we are in person together to do it. Zoom is helpful, or videos, but not totally.
On a 5-10 minutes. Go. Okay. Sean, that's you.
Sean. Okay, Sean. Sean has ADP, well, he's got a...
Auditory neuropathy.
That's it, auditory neuropathy and CVI diagnosis. He's a preemie. He lives in Ottawa, so that should be easy, right? No, tactile working memory scale. Jude and the team, Annika and Thijs, throw me not under the bus, not at all. They give me a challenge. They give me a partner who lives in British Columbia and Vancouver. So this is Ottawa, and Elena, thank you for being here, Elena. And Lana is in Richmond, BC. So we know this is only going to be done virtually for her and myself in person. And so now we're thinking 4,000 kilometers, 4,500-ish.
Yeah.
So good thing that we had experience a little bit, so I did a lot of filming. I knew his profile would be different for the tactile working memory scale. We made a video bank. She had, with parental permission, Alana had the okay to look at everything, of course. And then she went looking for the needle in the haystack, I'd like to say it. And next slide. Oh yeah, here we are.
Use the tweezers, and we're going to go around the school.
That's part of the video I did
Also
for
gonna go swimming.
the project.
We are going to go in.
He's
again.
touching his calendar on the board. It's a tactile. Pincers, I think they are. It's gonna, yeah, for cleaning the
Lunchtime.
screws.
You can move on.
As he goes in,
So these are all different pictures. There's 6 pictures of different activities that Elena Lucky got to see and watch and review. And she would email me and write me back, go look at video 22 and go look at 9 minutes and 3 seconds. And she would write me a comment. She could tell you how long this all took. I know because I filmed all that stuff. So it was very long. Then it would permit us to do a good interactions. She would notice things that I hadn't, but she needed context of where I was because she didn't have that either, right? So.
Right. So yeah. So how to make it work? We don't have all the answers at all. This is all trial stuff that we did. But some stuff we have learned. Using past practice as a guide, we need lots of preparation to do. If you're going to do some virtual stuff, assessing takes a lot of preparation. There's equipment needed. There's informing all the participants of what is needed. What do you guys need to do on your side to make this work? You need having good footage. If you have bad footage, you're not going to see anything. And you need lots of footage. You need good angles. And as the image beside, there's a cameraman running beside the sprinters with his camera on his shoulder. Praise the cameraman. And then even post-session, there's a lot of work involved. Meeting between those who filmed and those scrubbing the footage. Needing all that context. So when Alana and Christine would talk, just using all that context to, why was that in the video? And you need to have trust between these two people so that they can trust one another to say, hey, I saw this. Oh, okay. There needs to be trust. So what worked and what didn't work? Preparation worked. Background information. You need good quality video, as I said. Coaching the staff. You need to coach the staff on getting a videographer that knows how to get wider angles sometimes or not.
Not to point the meat to the ceiling, but really to the student and not forget that I'm there. Yeah, and move it around.
You need an education team and parents that are fully on board with all this. Qualified teacher that knows deaf blindness helps quite a bit. And you need a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. What didn't work? If we did quick and unprepared sessions, usually didn't work. And we tried some of those. Sometimes we had last minute stuff. Video quality, if it's all blurry or if it's bad angles, noise distortion, missing context, etc. And content quality, sometimes it's not what we're looking for. Sometimes you're looking for like the transition and not the activity or both. If it's something that's out of frame, like I showed earlier, the staff not knowing deaf blindness. Oh, excuse me, what? I put a timer because we talk too much. If sometimes the videos are too short, we don't see everything that we need to see. I can continue. What worked? Interviews with parents or interviews with the staff. That's perfect, virtual stuff.
Also created trust.
Creates trust. We can meet more often. I don't want to fly over 500 kilometers every time I want to meet someone. When you need to present these assessment reports, that's perfect also. You can get more people in the presentations also. You can get specialists, you can get parents, teachers, other people involved that wouldn't be involved usually. So
and it takes less time to be in a Zoom meeting, right? And like, so you say 10 o'clock on Tuesday, And no one has to drive. Everybody, it could be somewhere. I've been there. I've been in another school, and there's going to be a Zoom meeting, and you just take that little extra time where you are, and you can get in. You get more done.
And even in those presentation of assessment, you can show clips of the videos that you're showing people, hey, this is what I saw. You can show them, this is the video. And what didn't work, the real thing that didn't work, is there's no interaction between the assessor and the student. And that's tough in virtual. I know my daughter does not understand the concept of this person is real time. She thinks she's a TV show. It's television, this is not a real person. So it's hard to get that connection.
You talked about your daughter.
I did, for a second. Alana, when we talked to her, she said, being virtual is a bit awkward as you can only read body language and facial expressions so well. In person offers more information. So yeah, I think that's a repetition a bit. I can skip through that. What's better in person? What's easier in virtual? I think we went through that. Is it beneficial or no? There's no real answer. Some parts of the assessment can be done virtually, which saves time, money, and resources. So the interviews and the presentation, and whatever is done with the adults and not the student, you can do virtually. Other parts take much longer and ultimately may not be more economical either. Because
So
we're
that's
still
good
getting
to-
paid for our time,
Yeah.
you know.
But it's good to tell our bosses afterwards, like, we need to be 2 at this one, and we sort of have the justification to do it.
So until other things come up, for now, I don't think there's still a part, that needs to be done in person. You need to have that personal contact still, I think, for now. Things may change later, we don't know. Some uncertainty, some students may be easier to assess virtually or more parts of the assessment depending on the function of the child also. And can I communicate with this child or not? Or how does he do in virtual? Some students are more inclined to be in virtual also. Some teams that are more qualified in Deafblind may be more inclined to be able to get good video footage. All right, that's it. Whew.
Thank you, Alana.
We made it. A minute. All right.
Thank you so much for that. I think there is actually a minute. So one short question, not a big comment, just a short question, or else I guess you guys are ready for talking.
I'd like to do a
in
selfie with you guys. Can I do that?
Oh yeah, we can do that. Maybe I will give you the present before we do that, because the thing is that I have a presentation at 11, so I need to go very, very sharp on time. So, on behalf of the Deafblind International, I want to thank you very much for this presentation. So let's give them a big hand and get together for a selfie.
Just do it like this.